In 2016, the National Research Fund did advertise for infrastructure development for research. And Meru University of Science and Technology did assemble some researchers to come up with the proposals, of course with collaboration with some people like World Health Organizations. And we did submit our proposals to the NRF that time. And by 2018, around February, we got a report that we had been awarded that research grant of Kenya shillings 56 million.
Initially, before we didn't have equipment that could help me do my research work, and this delayed me a lot before I finished my PhD. But I thank God now we have the equipment which have adversely and immensely assisted my work.
Ordinarily, we have been operating as a level 3B medical center. That's just a health center where we've been offering very basic health services to our staff and students. Our lab has been doing very basic tests like screening for malaria or stool microscopy, urinalysis, blood sugar. We haven't been doing a number of tests that need to be done, and we haven't been having consultant physicians or consultant doctors sitting in this facility. In terms of the equipment that we're talking about, the research equipment that has just been donated by the National Research Fund, this is going to play a very big role in the upgrade of this clinic. And that's one big thing that the equipment we've just received from NRF is going to do for us. It's going to enable us to have various medical specialists run clinics here to serve not only our university community, but also to serve our surrounding community.
This infrastructural project that we have just set up is going to be very, very useful. We will use this infrastructure to do diagnosis, and diagnosis for many things. This is only done in Meru for a long time. Even as this part of Mount Kenya going up to the border, Kenya and Ethiopia, and even Somalia, and even Southern Sudan, all the samples have always to be taken to Nairobi. Now that is not going to be done anymore because we can now do these things here.
The infrastructure that we received in Meru University is quite substantial. It includes the entire workflow of a molecular diagnostic lab. So this includes equipment for DNA extraction, equipment for polymerase chain reaction or PCR, equipment for DNA sequencing, among others. So myself, I am a molecular biologist. I have interest in investigating diseases at the molecular level. So I have interest in cancer, which is a big problem in this region. And in this instance, we are using this equipment to detect very small changes that happen within human cells that could contribute to uncontrolled growth of cells within the human body. Meru County is known to have very high prevalence for cancer, and we are now using this equipment to investigate which particular mutations contribute to the cancer that is seen within Meru County.
My name is Zakayo Mange Mwangi. I'm a tutorial fellow at the School of Health Sciences here at Meru University of Science and Technology, and I'm also a PhD student. And my main area of research is on non-tuberculous mycobacterial infection. Now, this equipment, which basically looks at the genetic material, which is very sensitive for the genetic material of the causative agent, it is quite accurate and quite sensitive for the detection of non-tuberculous mycobacteria and any other infectious disease, including non-infectious or non-communicable disease. Once the non-tuberculous mycobacteria has been detected in this case, it will help the clinician design the proper treatment regimen for the patient to avoid further patient suffering.
The other thing that this equipment is going to do is going to improve our diagnostic capacity for diseases. For example, we have a number of patients who are on treatment for diabetes, who are, for tuberculosis, people who are on treatment for HIV, and a few are on treatment for COVID. Now, when we talk about HIV and we talk about TB, we know that drug resistance is a big problem. We have both first line and second line treatment. For us to be able to do drug resistance testing in this region, we have to send our samples to Nairobi, either to KEMRI or the private labs in Nairobi. That's going to be a thing of the past. With the equipment we have received, we will be able to not only do drug resistance testing, we will be able even to genetically type the kind of TB and even be able to tell where that TB has come from. If somebody has acquired the TB from Ethiopia, for example, from Uganda, or from some other country, we will be able to actually type that and say that this is not a local strain. And that's a big step in disease surveillance.
We'll keep doing cutting-edge research work that is going to help, especially in the SDG 3, which talks about health for all. So we are able to do that, and we are proud that we can be able to do that as to achieve the SDG.
The equipment are so advanced that they can actually execute from the smallest diagnosis to the highest diagnosis. And therefore, we encourage researchers who are actually around us to take advantage of these and come and work with us. And they can come and work akin to the model that is done at KEMRI.
Kenya need to move, not only being as a consuming institution in terms of drugs, in terms of anything we do, but also moving towards assembly and also moving towards manufacturing even of the pharmaceutical products. I think this is going to answer to our Vision 2030. And I would like to encourage and advise and invite all potential collaborators in research that we can now do all these things here in Meru.